Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Mick, I'm blind, and this is Cozy Calm Collected. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. We are finally tackling a highly requested video, which is talking about my blindness. Honestly, I've been kind of dreading making this video, and putting it off is a big part of the reason why I haven't dived into content creation the way that I want to. I have so many ideas and so many videos I want to make for you guys, but part of me knew that this video needed to come first just to have context, just so that I could have somewhere to refer people to when they had questions, and just because my blindness is a topic people fixate on in a lot of my content, even if it doesn't have anything to do with that content. So I wanted to film this and just have somewhere to send you guys so you could have the full story and have any questions answered and have a place to comment those questions as well. I haven't been dreading this video because I'm not comfortable talking about my disability. If I wasn't, then I wouldn't be putting this out on the internet, and every person, whether they are online or not, has the right to not talk about their disability. You do not owe your disability explanation to the internet or to anyone if you so choose. I am comfortable talking about my disability, and I think conversations around disability can go a long ways towards people having empathy and understanding and widening their view of what disability looks like. And I think all of that together kind of just makes the world a better place when we can have a moment of empathy for each other and try to understand people whose experiences are different than ours. And that's part of why I'm doing this as well. The reason I've been dreading making this video is because I don't want this channel to become solely about my blindness. I do not want the focus of this channel to be on my blindness. And I feel like sometimes that is easier conveyed in person. The internet has a way of taking a snapshot of someone's life and making it their entire identity. And my biggest fear coming on here was that I would start making videos and I would just be a blind person. And while my blindness is a very big part of who I am, and it does impact my life in many, many ways, I am so much more than that, and this channel is so much more than that. That being said, I do plan to make content about my blindness and things that overlap with it. And if you guys have any questions about my lived experience as a blind person, I absolutely welcome those as long as they are respectful. I welcome any questions you have. I just ask that you keep in mind that that is just one piece of who I am and what this channel is about. And now that brings me to the name of my channel. Cozy Calm Collected is something I created because I wanted a place to have all of the different pieces of myself and all the parts of life that I enjoy and that I want to share with you guys in one place. It's not collected in the sense of like, I'm so collected, I have it all together. Oh girl, absolutely not. If you stick around here long enough, you will see that my life is pretty chaotic. I love every bit of it, but it is all over the place, and collected is not a word I would use to describe myself. It's collected in the sense that all of the pieces of me that make up who I am are in one place and can live and coexist and all kind of get their moment to shine on this channel in one wonderful, beautiful place. On this channel, you will find a collection of who I am, all of my cozy hobbies and my routines, my disability, my identity as a queer person. You will find my outdoor adventures. You'll find that I'm really into reading books and I love talking about them. My lived experience. Okay, with all that being said, let's finally get into talking about my blindness. So I have a condition called CVI. It's short for cortical visual impairment, and it is when there is an injury to the brain that affects the brain's ability to process the visual signals that are being sent to it. So in my case, I had a stroke while I was still in the womb, and so there's scar tissue over my visual cortex. So my eyes are sending these crystal clear, perfect images right to my brain, and my brain does not know what to do with that information. It cannot get through. A tiny little bit of that information gets through, and my brain receives that blurry, distorted, scrambled bit of data and it builds me an entire picture out of it. I got diagnosed at a very young age, but a lot of people who present like me do not get that luxury. There's actually a growing number of people who are learning that they have CVI because they didn't present with the symptoms that were expected. A lot of children who are born with CVI do have a lot of limitations with their motor skills, their cognitive function, speech, all of that kind of thing. And then there are cases like me. And so when I didn't have any of that, it was initially pretty difficult to diagnose. I got very lucky in my diagnosis, but a lot of people who present like me get passed over and get told that there's no reason that they should be blind and there's nothing wrong with them. But unfortunately, that means people with my condition who can walk and talk, they get told that it's all in their head and that there's no reason they should be blind. I know people who were in their 20s or 30s or even later by the time they got a diagnosis and got a reason for why they're blind. When I first started going to school, I got assigned a vision teacher, a teacher for the visually impaired, which is someone who teaches blind students how to do orientation and mobility, how to use assistive technology, and how to do daily living type of things and how to make those accessible. And my vision teacher was amazing. I still remember her to this day. She was phenomenal. I was a wild, adventurous, outgoing kid, and she just really encouraged and nurtured all of that in me and never gave me a reason to doubt that. And I didn't even realize what a gift that was until I got older and had a lot of adults in my life tell me the opposite and expect me to sit still and not participate because I was blind. But this vision teacher I had, she happened to have a colleague who was writing the diagnostic criteria manual for CVI. And she knew that my family and I had had struggles trying to get a diagnosis for me. She got my family and I in touch with this person, and they ended up testing the diagnostic criteria manual on me because I was just a prime specimen for that. So that's kind of a cool fact because it means my experience went into helping other people get answers, which is super awesome. But anyway, that is when we did finally get the diagnosis that it was CVI and started to learn more about that and how complex and kind of weird it is compared to other types of blindness and what those blindnesses make you see. I do just want to take a moment and remind you all that blindness is a spectrum, and 90% of people who are considered fully blind still have some sort of usable vision, even if it's just a little bit of light and shadow perception. So just keep that in mind. Neurological blindness can be really tricky because it's affected by the state of your brain and how your brain is functioning. So some days I have better vision than other days. Some days I really have almost nothing. I'll have maybe a little bit of light perception and that's it. And other days I can see some things if they're close up to me or very, very big or very contrasted. It just depends. Things that can affect my vision are if I sleep well, if I eat well, if I'm stressed, if I'm on new medications, if I'm having hormone changes. All of that affects how I see and how much I see. So a big part of why I have all of these cozy routines on my channel is actually because they make my life better. They make my vision better. They make it so that I have more functioning vision because I'm setting myself up for success to sleep well, to eat well, to do all of that. So I see what essentially is a full picture. It's very scrambled and blurry, and I can't make much out of it depending on the day, but I do see like a full picture. So if you think about how your brain, when you're looking at something, it edits out your nose being there, right? It edits it out being in the frame of vision, and it kind of fills in what it knows should be there. That's what my brain is doing, but like with the entire picture. And so sometimes it can be wrong. Sometimes things are incorrect. I don't see things right. And the longer I look at something and the more I know about a situation, sometimes that can improve how I see it. My blindness impacts my life in a million ways that I'm sure I'm not even conscious of at this point. But there's probably 3 major areas that I would say it impacts: my mobility, my hobbies, and my social life. So for mobility, I have a cane and a guide dog. My guide dog, Hamilton, did just retire, which is super sad, but he gets to live at home as a pet now, so that's awesome for him. And I'm on the waiting list for my third guide dog. And that's mostly how I get around. I walk a lot of places with my cane or my guide dog. I take public transit when I need to, and also my wife is sighted, and so she can drive, and she drives me around a lot as well. For my hobbies, I am interested in so many different things. I made a list of all of my hobbies one time, and I think it was like 39 hobbies. So there's a lot to cover there. And if you guys want a video on how I make different things accessible, definitely let me know. But for the most part, I would split up my hobbies into two categories. I have my outdoorsy, adventurous hobbies, and then I have like my cozy hobbies. So for my outdoorsy, adventurous hobbies, I'm really into hiking, backpacking, paddleboarding, things like that. A lot of those activities I do with other people, and they help me out and give me direction. I do go solo backpacking sometimes, only on trails that I know very well and that I'm comfortable with, and I can make a whole video on that if you want. And then my cozy hobbies, which are things like knitting, embroidery, diamond art, junk journaling, reading, making fun little drinks, just anything that's kind of indoors. I have a lot in that category, but I do a lot of that with the help of a tool called a CCTV. It is a digital magnification device that makes everything I'm looking at a lot bigger, so I can sort of see some of the details, and that definitely helps me do some of my more intricate hobbies. My CCTV kind of gives me a little corner of the world where I can see a little bit. And a lot of the other things, I kind of just accept that I'm not going to do them perfectly. I'm not going to do them well necessarily. I just enjoy doing them, so I'm going to do them. Number 3 is social. This is probably the most difficult category for me, just having to deal with people's assumptions on the daily. Most of the time it's strangers, but sometimes it's people I know. It just depends. I have been told that I am too young to be blind, that I am too athletic to be blind, that I am too pretty to be blind. I have even been told that I am too happy to be blind. And people just say these things to me out in public, random strangers, because I don't fit their expectation of what blindness should be. Those interactions every day from almost every stranger are so exhausting. Between that and everyone wanting to pet my guide dog and having to manage those interactions, it's so exhausting to go out and deal with people. Because I have some usable vision, a lot of times people like to put me in this box of, oh, so you can see. There are some days where I can see some things if they're really close up to me. And there are other days where I definitely can't. People are more comfortable if they can put me in the box of sighted or blind. They do not like to take the time to try to understand what the lived experience of blindness is really like. And honestly, I don't always have the time to explain it to people. And so I always tell people it's simplest if you can just assume that I see nothing until I correct you. Because the very few things I can see, they're not going to be what you would guess. And it's just going to be simpler if you can communicate things to me in a way where you assume that I can't see them, because I probably can't. I literally just had to have this conversation with my surgeon that did my hysterectomy a couple of weeks ago. She told me multiple times, well, you're not actually blind though. And I had to keep correcting her. Yes, I am. I cannot see that. I cannot see anything you are gesturing to or talking about. And she handed me some paperwork, and she's like, I'm just gonna need you to read through this and sign it. And I was like, I can't read that. I can't see. And I think it finally clicked for her. She was like, oh, like you're like actually blind. I'm like, yes, I am, thank you. And so I did take a moment to educate her on how blindness is a spectrum, and asked her to please just assume I can't see anything, because that is gonna be simpler for all of us. But the fact that I have to do that to a doctor at my surgery appointment, like this is what I'm saying. It's everywhere I go. It's all the time. It's at the grocery store. It's at the airport. It's at the doctor's. And that's probably the most exhausting part, is just dealing with the perception of it all and people having opinions on what I am or am not allowed to see to be considered blind. Getting people to sit down and learn about the complexities and the lived experience of being blind is sometimes really challenging. So that's why I'm so grateful to each and every person that sat through this video and got to the end of this video and is here to learn and to be educated. I hope that this answered some of your questions. I hope it maybe challenged some of your assumptions. And I hope you stick around for the next video. I can't wait to build a community. You guys are what builds the community and builds understanding and empathy and makes this world more accessible and more understanding. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for sitting through this and for wanting to check out my channel. And I hope you stick around for all of the cozy hobbies, all the adventures, and all the moments in between that make up my life.